How to Write in Third Grade. Volume 4 of 7, A Persuasive Essay. Students at school should wear uniforms. Teacher background. The first 3 structured writing pieces we've done have focused on the narrative. We always think of the narrative as a story. Our lessons worked on using our 5 senses to find descriptive details about the setting and the characters of our story. If we can get our reader to feel moved by our words, they will be interested. They will listen carefully. When you write a narrative or a story, you want the reader to see and feel what you are writing about. Now we're going to work on writing a structured, persuasive paragraph. Trying to persuade people is something students have been doing with words since they were very little. Please, Daddy, I really need that toy. Everyone has one. I'll be perfectly miserable without it. Persuasive writing is different than narrative writing. We want the reader to think critically. We want them to agree with our opinion. When we persuade someone, we use reasons, explanations, and examples to convince them that we are right. Our local school board had a meeting last night. They discussed whether or not elementary schools should require children to wear uniforms. Many schools don't, but many schools do. You will begin your work by assembling 2 lists. On one list, write down all the reasons you can think of why kids at school should wear uniforms. Don't write explanations and examples. Just put down a few words to serve as placeholders to remind you of the reason that you think kids at school should wear uniforms. Also make a second list. On this list, you will write down all of the reasons you can think of why kids at school should not wear uniforms. Again, don't write explanations and example, just write words to serve as placeholders for your ideas. You've done a good job of writing down what you think about uniforms. What are some reasons that you liked? Can you explain the reason? Can you give me an example? You should notice that the best reasons are the ones that you can explain or give examples to. Listen carefully to your classmates as they talk about their reasons, explanations, and examples. Some of the reasons you might not understand. Someone said, "won't be late" as a reason. When your classmate explains, he says that he often spends a lot of time each morning trying to decide what clothes to wear. He then has to run to catch the bus because he's late. The explanation helps you understand his reason. Now you understand what he meant when he said "won't be late" is a reason to have uniforms. The best reasons are the ones that have explanations and/or examples. Now that all of the reasons have been given, you have to decide which position you want to write about. Could you convince your classmates and your teacher that students should wear uniforms? Or should you convince them that students should not wear uniforms? Look at the lists you've made. Find the reasons that you could easily explain, just like our "won't be late" example. You're not choosing a position because it's what you want. You're picking a position that has reasons that you can explain and give examples to. Write down your first reason and complete the section for explanations and example. Now go back to your list of reasons and find a second one that you can explain. Write it down on the second reason lines. On the lines below this reason, write your explanations and your examples. Finally, go back to your list of reasons. Find a third one that you know you can explain. Write it down in the third reason section, and on the lines below it, write your explanations for this reason. Now reread your reasons and explanations. Are your explanations clear and logical? Do they make sense? If they don't, rewrite them, or pick a different reason and write a new explanation. Last class, we took up the challenge of trying to persuade the school board about school uniforms. Should students at our school wear uniforms? We started off by brainstorming different reasons in favor of uniforms and different reasons against uniforms. We found the best reasons were the ones that we could explain or put into different words. You picked out 3 reasons supporting your opinion and you wrote explanations for them. Today you're going to organize the reasons and write them up as a paragraph. One of the hard truths to face as a writer is that readers often lose interest while reading your work. Think about it. Don't you, as a reader, sometimes drift off? So, if you are trying to convince the reader that you are right, you should start your paragraph with your strongest reason. The reader might lose interest before reading your second and third reasons. Look at your reasons and explanations. Which of the reason-explanation pairs that you wrote down is your strongest? In other words, if you could only give one reason explanation, which one would you use? Put a 1 next to it. Now pick out which is your next strongest reason. Put a 2 next to it. Your last pair gets a 3. Take a piece of the class writing paper. Write your name and date. In the writing skills section, write opinion, 3 reasons with explanations, and organizing words. Persuasive paragraphs have a structure that is easy to follow. The first sentence or sentences tell the reader your opinion. For example, I think the students at our school should wear uniforms. You have to make it clear to your reader what you are going to try to prove. Notice that I didn't give any reasons in this opening sentence. I saved that for later. In the opening sentence, I just give my opinion. Make up your own sentence, giving your opinion about school uniforms. Say it to yourself, and then write it down. Now you're going to write a sentence introducing your strongest reason, the reason with a 1 next to it. Begin your sentence with words that organize your thoughts and signal to your reader that you're going to give more than one reason. Use words like, my first reason is, another way is, the best thing about uniforms is. Write the sentence introducing your first reason. Now write out the explanation for your strongest reason. And remember, as you write this explanation, it could be more than one sentence. If possible, give a specific example. Now write a sentence introducing reason number 2. Remember, start your sentence with words that organize your thoughts and signal to your reader that you're giving a series of reasons. My second reason is, or another good thing about summer is. Write the sentence introducing your second reason. Now write sentences that explain this second reason and make it more clear to the reader. Finally, write a sentence using your third reason. Again, begin your sentence with words that organize your thoughts and signal to your reader that this is the last in a series of reasons. Start with words like, the last reason is, or finally, Uniforms make. Write a sentence introducing your third reason. Now write sentences explaining and making it more clear for your reader. You began your essay with a sentence that told the reader your opinion and what you were going to write about. You then gave 3 reasons with explanations. Now you have to signal to your reader that you're done. You do this by giving your opinion again. You restate your opening opinion. I think students at our school should wear uniforms. Another way to signal the reader that you're done is to ask them their opinion. I like uniforms. What do you think? Write an ending for your essay. Finally, go back to the top of your paper and read through it. Does it sound right? Did you use complete sentences? Fix the elements that sound or feel wrong. Look at the top of your paper at your writing skills. Did you give your opinion at the beginning and at the end of your paper? Did you give 3 reasons with explanations? Did you use organizing words? Good job.